Hello and welcome back to Halloween DIYs episode 2. For this DIY, we're starting off with these photo frames from the Dollar Tree with some orange construction paper and black poster board. Using the glass from the frame, I just took that and measured my construction paper as well as my poster board and cut out the size that I needed for the frame. Using my Cricut, I cut out a Halloween related photo that I found from Google onto my black poster board. I remove all the contents from my frame, leaving the glass, and then I place my poster board cut out inside. Before placing my backing back onto my frame, I place that orange construction paper there to the back of my photo. The frames I use are 11 by 8, and to make my construction paper fit, I just trace the glass out onto my orange paper and then cut it out to size. On this next frame, you see me applying my bats and my tail, and I'm making sure to place them in the correct places so that they add up with the second frame. And before I apply my backing, I make sure to add a dab of glue to each of my objects because once I place my orange backing paper on, they tend to move around. And then once I'm done, I just close it up as I do any normal photo. I don't add glue at this point because I may need to change a few things. After that, I go ahead and place them together to make sure that everything aligns the way I need them to. And this is the first one that I've done. This is the Witch and Cauldron, and I'm just going to go ahead and glue these together. But before I glue them all together, I'm just going to place each frame out to make sure I have the proper placement. I am out of frame right here, but I'm just adding some hot glue to place the two together. Then I grab my other two frames and I do the same for those. Add hot glue and attach them together. Once I've glued them both separately, I then apply glue to one side and add all four together. These are the Dollar Tree frames and they are a bit flimsy. Here I'm using a high temperature glue gun to put my frames together, but you could use a more permanent glue like an E6000. To make my four frames overall more sturdy, I cut a piece of foam board and then I'm gluing it down the center of my frames. I then take two smaller pieces of foam board and then glue those also to the cross side of the frames. Off camera, I've added foam board to the corners of each frame just to balance out the back of my overall frame. And with some jute twine, I tie it to the hook of each frame at the top to make a hanger. For some added stability, I go ahead and add some hot glue to the back of each of those hooks, and now this is ready for hanging. Once I flip my piece back over, I noticed that you could see a lot of that hot glue seeping through the frame. So I just took a Sharpie and then colored over that glue, which this part is not necessarily, but I did that, but still it wasn't necessary. And overall, here is the final look. If you have not noticed, this is supposed to be a window looking out at a witch and a cat. This was a very easy and simple project to do. You may not have a Cricut, but you can always draw things out by hand or use cutouts from the Dollar Tree to get the same look. And for a bigger window, you can always use more frames. This is just the idea that I had in mind, and I'm so glad of how it turned out. I think this Halloween window is so fun, and my kids love it. Now on to DIY number 2. This one is so easy and it does not have to cost you anything. I use my frames from off my wall that I have on there every day, and I'm just replacing them with photos that I've made using my Cricut as well. Using that same black poster board, I cut my poster board out to fit the sizes of my frame, and then using some photos that I found on Google, I cut these out using my Cricut. A slight different thing that I did here, instead of using a poster board or a cardstock, I used white iron-on vinyl. Because I didn't want to take the time with gluing down every single little piece to my board, I opted for the iron-on vinyl. And once I've heat pressed those to my paper, which was fairly easy, I removed the contents of my everyday photos from my photo frames and then just placed these into the frame, put everything back, and then hang them on my wall. Since I was going to use mirrored frames, I knew that I wanted the backing of my photos to be black. And the actual photos, I wanted them to be white. That way they would pop so well off that mirrored frame. And I would be using 4 frames, so I made sure to make a skeleton. One is a spider web, the other is the haunted house, and the last one is a ghost. I think all of these are actually so cute, but my overall favorite has to be the haunted house. And here's how these look all styled on my wall. And again, these are my everyday frames, so if you choose to recreate this, know that you do not have to spend a dime. Use what you have at home. And again, you do not have to have a Cricut to recreate these. You can always use cutouts that are already provided from the Dollar Tree, or again, you could cut out pictures that you've drawn or just paint on top of the black poster board itself. So yeah, this is just a way that I like to add a little bit of Halloween fun inside my house. My babies are getting a little older. They are now 3 and 7, and I like to make the holiday fun for them. We've now come to the end of Halloween DIYs episode 2. If you've liked this video, please give it a thumbs up, consider subscribing, and turn on your post notifications so that you don't miss out on any of my future videos. And until next time, guys, bye!